But I don't read this and then say enough is enough and like screw everyone and poor Teresa. So I do feel it is just to save her job that this was issued. And I don't fault that because I would do anything to save my job for $2 million or 2.5 or whatever it is. I don't work for Bravo, so cannot confirm nor deny. But I would do whatever I had to save it. Also, absolutely. I mean, granted, if you're running around saying that Louis should have got you to sign a prenup because he has so much money and Louis has so much money, I mean, why are you really worried? I mean, the house is only in his name and he can kick you out at any point. But that's a whole nother story, which I talked about with Melissa's old nose. But I mean, you don't need the $2 million a year if he has that much money. So that's just a whole other point. But she does need it because he doesn't. And he's a total fucking fraud. But that's a whole nother show. So at its basis, that's what I see from this post. And that's why I personally wouldn't have posted it, because I know if I was to make a statement today, everyone that hates me for something will still hate me. And everyone that likes me will still like me. And my words and my time and my emotion and my energy of crafting a statement, this person says this about me, and here are all the reasons why they're lying. If I put thought into that and crossed out the T's and dotted the I's and proofread it and typed it up and then posted it on Instagram, all the people that hate me would still destroy me and poke holes in it. So it doesn't matter. So I wouldn't have posted it if I were Teresa for that very reason. Just knowing the human psyche, knowing how people react to things, knowing that there was going to be no resolution. And I also wouldn't have posted it because I think this shows weakness. That is what I think. It's not going to cost her her job. I don't think it's going to save her her job. I don't think it's going to have an effect, but I think it shows that she's worried. And I don't know if it were me fighting for my job, if I would want that narrative out there. You know, we haven't thought of another category of like, can't you just go to someone and say, you know, you can keep your job for, $800,000 a year? We fired Tamara Judge. I mean, I assume she was brought back at close to that, what she was making, like 800-ish. But I mean, she was desperate. That fucking rat, the rat that scurries in the corner, who's also hiding from Teresa because Teresa ain't happy with that rat. And goes her tail, and she's having her piece of Gouda in the corner. But I think if you said to desperate Judge, you were fired, you had a whole season off, you can either come back at half your salary or not at all. She would have had her tail between her legs up her ass and taken it. I would take it. I mean, I know what I make from doing this podcast every year. And guess what? If the year is off next year and I make less, I mean, there's a huge buffer where I can make less and less, and I'll still be here and I'll still be like, I'm grateful for this. Thank God that hasn't happened yet. But that's the thing. So can't they also just go to Teresa and say, you ain't worth this? You're worth that. Having run HR departments, that doesn't really work. I used to suggest that when I was the head of HR, and like my board of directors would always be like, it doesn't work because let's face it. I mean, even in my situation I just described, like you are going to be a chip on your shoulder in anyone in any corporation. Think of how much you make now. You make $100,000 a year if someone's listening to this. What if your job said, we're having layoffs and we're not laying you off, we're keeping you, but we're keeping you for 70? Yeah, you'd be thrilled to have a job when they said that, and you would come back on Monday thrilled to have a job. And I think a week or two or three later, you would actually be thrilled to have a job at 70,000 versus zero. But 6 months into it, when you're working just as hard and someone pissed you off, you'd be pissed off that you were making 70 if you used to make 100. So that doesn't really work. But I'm just saying, isn't that an option? I don't know. I don't know. I think it shows weakness. And so, look, I'm happy New Jersey is going to be coming to an end. I am excited. We talk about the OC on Patreon. It's a good season. I mean, I don't think anybody likes this toxicity. I don't think anybody likes this toxicity. I really don't. And I think everyone's happy to move on to something else, right? I mean, so maybe, yeah, the lawyer wrote this and said, It's not guaranteed. And she's just realizing this. And so I guess that's good, but I also think that's kind of arrogant because you lost sight. And that's when housewives get fired. Dorinda was arrogant when she got fired. Marina was arrogant. It's when you become arrogant at any job and you think you have it in the bag that you get terminated. David Yontef behind the velvet rope does not think he has it in the bag because I have to get up and work every fucking day. Okay. Now, who knows? Maybe one day we won't be 7 days a week, but here we are, and y'all want that, and everyone's listening. You know, we have 2 shows in the afternoon now. Does everyone know that Tuesday or Wednesday and Sunday we issue an afternoon show at 3:30? It's actually 9 shows a week now because we're counting Patreon. And you know what? When we went to 9 shows a week, I said, I'm not a sadomasochist. I really do have a life if I wanted one. But I said, is there a need for this? Do people want more? And you're all gobbling up all of it. So we're not doing second shows here in the afternoon because I'm bored in life. We're doing them because people are actually consuming. Do I think if I added 4 more shows now, you would all consume? I don't know, but I mean, more is more. When you add more and then the numbers go down, you listen to the numbers. Hey, it's too much. Oversaturated David Yontef, which I mean, trust me, I get sick of hearing my fucking self sometimes, guys. But y'all wanted the extra 2 shows and the numbers are good on everything. So we haven't missed a beat. But the point is, I ain't got cocky here because I mean, if I just sleep at the microphone for a couple of weeks, y'all will be over me. So I'm humbled. So I don't know. I think Teresa lost sight of the fact that she is an employee and everyone is replaceable. I still don't see a world where it'll be Melissa over Teresa. I still think a reboot would happen before that happened. But a reboot really doesn't work. We have some responses to this. I have so many notes for this, guys. I mean, have you ever heard me talk so slow and so direct to get my point across? God, like I can really pull it together if I try. Yes, I don't think that Bravo wanted this. And again, not letting Melissa, not letting especially Margaret off the hook, none of those people. So Melissa did reply to this, which honestly, so she posted on her story, beware of wolf in sheep's clothing. And she literally put a picture of a wolf, and the wolf is in a sheepskin. And she says, hashtag laughable, hashtag delusional. Now, of course, the tree huggers have all jumped over Melissa and said she knows she's losing her job and that's why she's posting and she's losing over $1 million. And I'm why is my phone going on this? Like, stop. I the difference to me, just to me, taking no sides, is Melissa is smart. And Melissa has dealt with this. Look, there's the 5 stages of grief. Okay. I believe Melissa has been aware all season. And she's done all the interviews and said, yes, a cast change is needed. It doesn't mean I don't think Melissa wants to lose her job. I think Melissa just did an interview and she said, your guess is as good as mine. I believe that. But I believe that Melissa is living in the real world and she is smart. And yes, this is the same person that said Melissa was 100% being fired this season, which I think people should have listened to me because what I was really saying is change the damn show up. It can't go on like this. So maybe they should have listened to me. But I believe Melissa has dealt with this already and has understood episode 1 that she is on the chopping block along with Dolores, along with Cabral, along with everybody, including Teresa. I think Melissa is not out of touch with this aspect of the fact that she might be losing her job. So when she says, beware of wolf in sheep's clothing, laughable, delusional, I don't get the feeling that she is trying to save face, save her own job. I think she is clearly like the rest of us that are in the know that Teresa has been doing this. You believe what you want. And now she's trying to act like a victim And she's just like, okay, I mean, if I'm going to get fired, I'm going to get fired. And this statement is delusional. I don't really have a problem with her post. I mean, it really does sound like I'm a team Melissa these days, doesn't it? But I really don't have a problem with it. I don't clap back most of the time at people, but every now and then I do. You take a shot when you just are in the mood and the timing is right. And so I feel, why not take a shot? Because this is, I mean, I feel the same way she does. I feel like you're either out of touch with